Hello and welcome to another in-depth Space Marine analysis video. Today we take a look at the new Iron Hands supplement. Thank you, Games Workshop. Sons of Gorgon. Let's dive right in.
The Dark King.
And we're here looking at the Iron Hand supplement. Hello, I am Skari, and this is SkaredCast, and this is one of the cool preview videos that we get to enjoy when GW and their graciousness kindly sends me some stuff so that you can take a look at it early as well. The supplements are a series of books that allow you to take your Space Marine collection to the next level by playing, collecting, and using cool rules, abilities, warlord traits, stratagems that identify well with the style of gameplay from your selected chapter. Whether it has been the Ultramarines, the White Scars, or now the Iron Hands, and the Raven Guard. Something I really like about the Iron Hands supplement and all the other supplements we've seen is the in-depth analysis of the chapter organization. So you start with the legacy of Iron, so you essentially talk about who the Iron Hands are. Medusa, essentially the world of the Iron Hands. You go deep into the chapter organization. All 10 companies, the Reclusium, the Iron Council, which is a governing body of the chapter, the Apothecarion, the Librarius, as well as names and cool characters to basically base your chapter around. It goes into detail on each individual company. The first company that are the Forgeborn, the second company that are Tempered Wardens, the third company, the Fire Hearts, the fourth company, Watchers of Krashi, the fifth company, the Relic Guard, the sixth company, the Watchkeepers, the seventh company, Will of the Omnissiah, the eighth company, the Fists of Manus, ninth company, Brothers of Iburani, the 10th company, the Crucible. Also goes into, it's just cool. They have some stories, they have like everything, dive right in. But most of you are wondering, what about rules? What about stratagems? What about, oh man, some of the artwork's just fantastic. It's just amazing. I love reading these supplements because they are so cool. So let's dive into what you really get from a gaming perspective. This supplement is going to give you a special character in basically the Iron Father. It gives you ability to the specific combat doctrines of the Iron Hands chapter. And it also gives you access to some really cool stratagems and relics that will change the way that you play the game. And believe me, this supplement is very strong. What makes it so strong, you say, Skari? You play drukhari. That actually rhymes. Anyway, I play Dark Eldar, yes. However, I've played Space Marines for a lot longer than I played Dark Eldar. Black Templars are my chapter of note. However, I can still really digest the juices that are good rules when I see them. So let's dive into their special rules, the Sons of Gorgon. Calculated Fury is their new Devastator Doctrine speciality. That's the really cool thing about these supplements. So while the Devastator Doctrine is active, aka from turn 1, as long as every single model in your army has this special rule, they will not suffer the penalty from moving and fire heavy weapons, so tanks, vehicles, infantry. They can move and shoot heavy weapons with no penalty. That's fantastic, to say the least. Secondly, when resolving an attack made with a heavy weapon, you re-roll rolls of 1 to hit, giving you the ability, captain-like reroll ability on every unit with the Devastator Doctrine within your army, starting on turn 1, no matter where they are on the battlefield. They can be, so you don't need to be clumped up in a ball in order to get your captain rerolls. It also means that as the Devastator Doctrine is active, as per the Space Marine book, all your heavy weapons are also minus an additional armor piercing value, which means your heavy bolters are now AP2, your last cannons are AP4, your rocket launchers are extra AP as well. Pretty snazzy. They have a note on the successor chapters, which is pretty much the same. You've got your relics, etc. 6 warlord traits. I'm not going to go over every single one of these. If you know, there's plenty of videos that do that out on the interwebs. I'm going to pick one or two that really stand out to me and sort of talk about why I like them. This is a bite-size look into what you can expect when you order your own copy of the Iron Hands supplement. One of my favorites is the Adept of the Omnissiah. It's a warlord trait that allows just a regular character to heal 1 mortal wound on a tank, sort of like a tech marine, but you could give it to a captain or you could give it to something like that. And the second one I love is called Target Protocols, which you can select 1 friendly Iron Hands unit within 6. When resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon, you can reroll a hit, you can reroll a wound, and you can reroll a damage roll, which really helps when you have like a last cannon or something. Makes it very efficient at trying to kill, and very efficient, essentially, which I think that's pretty snazzy. Relics of Medusa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 relics. 1, 2, 3 of them are weapons. The Axe of Medusa is a power axe that is 3 damage plus 3 strength, making your Space Marine strength 7 minus 3 AP 3 damage. Pretty good if you want to get stuck in the close combat. The Aegis Ferrum, plus 1 toughness to a Primaris model, and you resolve all damage at -1 when attacking that model. Would make one of your characters very, very hard to kill. Put it on a Gravis captain, for example, and there all of a sudden you have 7 wounds at -1 damage and plus 1 toughness, so he's toughness crazy. Awesome. The Mind Forge, a Force Axe or Force Staff, basically a force weapon for a librarian, and it does D3 damage, but it's 2 times the strength minus 3 AP, meaning it becomes a Power Fist force weapon. Pretty cool. Betrayer's Bane is a combi melter that has a melter gun that shoots twice. So a 2-shot melter gun, combi melter. Pretty cool. The Ironstone, when you give it to a character, this is the one they previewed. When you're shooting an Iron Hands vehicle or an attack, any attack made against an Iron Hands vehicle within 3 inches of a friendly model with this relic, reduce all damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. Meaning that your Iron Hand vehicles around this character will be more durable than anything we've seen before. It's like a Wave Serpent shield that works for shooting and close combat. Last cannon does 4 damage? No, does 3 damage. Disintegrators do 2 damage? No, do 1 damage. How do you like them apples? The Tempered Helm. This is a command point regen relic for it's a relic, which is really cool, and it's for every command point you spend, roll a dice. So for every command point on a 5+, you get a refunded command point to maximum 1. So you get a way to regenerate command points. Excellent. And the Gorgon's Chain is 4-up invul save and subtract 1 to wound against that model with ranged weapons. Not as cool as some of the other ones. Special issue war gear, as you've seen in the supplements. Adamantium Mantle, 5-up, feel no pain, essentially. Artificer Armor gives the model a 2+ save and a 5+ invulnerable save. Really good when you've got like Primaris models and stuff like that that don't have that sort of thing. Or you want to give it to a sergeant or whatnot. No, I don't think you can. Mastercrafted Weapon, the weapon that you pick gets an extra damage, which is really cool. Digital weapons can do 1 additional hit that does mortal wound. Pretty handy in some situations. Auto Medicae Bionics heals D3 wounds at the start of the turn. The model with this relic. Teeth of Mars. So you've got the Teeth of Terra, which is a chainsword from the Space Marine Codex. Then you've got the Teeth of Mars. It's a chainsword from Mars. That only gives you 1 additional attack when you attack a vehicle. You're 2 times strength, and it's a 2 damage minus 2 AP chainsword. Pretty snazzy for a free chainsword that becomes a cool relic that can then attack tanks, which is pretty neat. Haywire Bolts. You can give this relic to a bolt weapon, you can do a single shot with it, but when it shoots a vehicle, a 4 to 5 to wound does D3 mortals, and a 6 does 3 mortals. Maybe they're changing haywire. Who knew? But it's just a way to do some mortal wounds to a tank. And the data spike, essentially, you can roll 2 dice and pick the highest when healing a vehicle with a tech marine. Not bad. The stratagems are really cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 stratagem. You have the standard, give a successor chapter in Iron Hands Relic. Awesome. You have the Paragon of Iron. You can give a not a named character to be a warlord trait, essentially. After nominating, that is not a named character to be a warlord. So you can generate an additional warlord trait for a unit. But there are a couple of really good stratagems that I love. The first one is Vengeance for... the first one is March of the Ancients. After nominating your warlord, select an Iron Hands Dreadnought. That model gains the character keyword and adds +1 attack and +1 leadership. So you can get a Dreadnought and make him a character, so if he's got less than 10 wounds, he can't be targeted. One of my favorite stratagems in this book. I don't know about you, but I'm looking at, Dreadnoughts with last cannons or something like that, some cool anti-tank weapons. You just keep him in the back, can't be targeted, and he gets an additional attack. And he's a character, which also means, he can have access to these things that help characters help him. That's one of my favorites. The other one is Machine Empathy, 1 command point. After an Iron Hands Tech Marine has used their Blessing of the Omnissiah, so after he's healed a tank, he can do it again, and he can do it on the same model. Combine that with the ability to with the special character that heals an automatic 3 wounds in a turn. All of a sudden, you're with 1 command point healing 6 damage on a tank, which is pretty snazzy. Then you have the psychic powers. The machine, the one of my favorites is Blessing of the Reforge. So you can pick a vehicle within 3 inches and heal it for D3 wounds. So even your psychers know how to heal tanks, which is pretty cool. So combine that with the stratagem I just talked about, so you can heal a tank twice with a tech marine and then heal it with a psychic power. Means you can heal up to 9, up to 9 wounds on a tank. So if you didn't kill that tank, he's coming back at full strength and doing that. So last thing I want to talk about, let's talk about the special character that got released for the Iron Hands. He is essentially his name is Iron Father Pharaoh. He's 110 points, including his war gear, and he is a steal for what you get. This is like a unit by unit for this. He's a power level 6, movement 5, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 2+, strength 4, toughness 5, so he's tough. He has 7 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9, and 2+ save. He is equipped with a bolt pistol, Gorgon's Wrath, Harrow Hand, 2 server arms. You can only have 1 model of these in your army, so he's a unique model. His bolt pistol is a standard bolt pistol. Gorgon's Wrath is a heavy bolter, so 36-inch heavy 3, strength 5. It is -2 AP and 2 damage. However, Devastator Doctrine makes it AP -3 and 2 damage. It is essentially a disintegrator cannon from the Dark Eldar armory, which I think is awesome. Harrow Hand is a melee weapon that adds +3 strength, so your strength 7. He is -2 AP and 2 damage, so not bad in close combat with 5 attacks, 6 on the charge thanks to Angels of Death. And he has 2 server arms, which do 3 automatic damage in combat, -2 and ×2 strength, so strength 8. You can only attack with 1 attack for each server arm. So he has 5 attacks, 6 on the charge. He could do 2 attacks with server arms and then 4 attacks with his regular weapon, or do 6 attacks with regular weapon, for example. And then -1 to hit in close combat. So he'd be hitting with them on 4s in close combat. He does have Angels of Death, but he has some really cool abilities. The Signium Array, he can pick an Iron Hands unit within 3, and they have a ballistic skill of 2+, which means it doesn't matter how bracketed you are. If your repulsor, your tank, or is like 5s to hit because it's so wounded, he can be like, oh, your ballistic skill is now 2+. Bling! Awesome. He has the Master of the Forge. He can, with his Blessing of the Omnissiah rule, repair a unit within an inch of it at the end of the movement phase, and he auto heals 3 wounds instead of D3 wounds. Think of that. Combined with the stratagem to heal again, right? So you can do it twice on the same tank even. That's 6 instant wounds that you can heal on a tank. He also ignores wounds on a 5+ instead of a 6, which is the Iron Hands one. Remember, they also Overwatch on 5s, which is pretty cool. And he gives all friendly models... Oh, never mind. He gives all units within 6 inches of 5+ invulnerable save. So your tanks, your infantry, all have a 5+ invulnerable save, making them very, very good against anti-tank weaponry. So I wouldn't be surprised seeing him and another Tech Marine surrounded by repulsors. Repulsor executioners or repulsors, giving them a 5+ invulnerable save, having a -1 damage bubble, being able to heal them up to 9 wounds if there's also a librarian nearby. AKA Iron Hands are going to be on a table near you. So let me know what you thought of the Iron Hands down below and what you are most excited about. And I hope you continue to enjoy your collection of Space Marines as we move in to the next era of Space Marine and Power Armor dominance for Gorgon. Wait, I'm in the Dark City. Shouldn't be talking that way. Skari out! Bye!